not reading the negativity in the chat tonight. Yeah, Sixers win, yeah.
Sixers win!
All right. Let's get down to it, man. Let's get down to business. Oh, it feels so good to be in the win column, man. It feels so good to celebrate a victory. DJ Eastwood gets to make a Run It Back Philly podcast episode, and he's not angry, and he's not ranting. But I definitely want y'all to give me all of your opinions. We're going to talk about everything that went down in this game. The Philadelphia 76ers get in the win column. And don't look now. They've won 2 out of 3. The Philadelphia 76ers have won 2 out of 3 games. And the last 2 games that Paul George played in, they are 2-0. So if we want to go a little bit ESPN here and make up our own stat, the 76ers are undefeated with Paul George in the last 2 games. Shout out to everybody, man. Friday night, we're going to crack a Founders Breakfast Stout to celebrate the Sixers being in the win column. And yeah, they won the other night against the Charlotte Hornets, but they blew a 20-point lead and almost blew the game, and I wasn't happy about that win. I'm happy about this one, man. There's a lot of good things to say, man. So be active in the chat. Don't you forget. Hold on. Let's take the victory sip here. Shout out to everybody on a Friday night. If you are of age and you are enjoying yourself an alcoholic beverage, take a sip for the Sixers win. Don't forget, all of these episodes are brought to you by the RunItBackPhillyShop.com. Promo code Sickos20 for 20% off. Maxey McCain 25. Make the Sixers great again. T-shirts, all the Sickos merch. RunItBackPhillyShop.com. Promo code Sickos20. Also, Game Time Ticket App, the best ticket app on the planet. Use code CLNS for $20 off. And DraftKings Sportsbook, use code RunItBack for $200 in bonus bets. When you bet just $5. New users, gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. And the Sixers are good now, guys. It's all good. It's all good. We're done with the ranting. They were just trolling the first 20 games of the season. We are here now. The 76ers win 102-94. Before I get into everything I want to say, hit the like button for me one time. I give you these episodes after every single Sixers game for free. If this provides you any entertainment, hit the like button for me. And subscribe to the channel if you're brand new. We are on the road to 30,000 subscribers. We just passed 26,000. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Subscribe if you're brand new. Let's get down to business, man. The Sixers win 102-94. And they close it out. And they did blow a 16-point lead. It did get close towards the end after they were up by 16. But I think at this point, I'm just used to it. I think at this point, I just watch a Sixers game expecting them to blow the lead. You know what I mean? That's just how it just happens. Jalen Suggs caught fire. I said, don't let him touch the ball anymore. He catches and shoots. Then he just brings the ball up and heat checks a Steph Curry-esque, just cross half court and pull up for 3 and hits another one. I mean, the Magic went on a 10-0 run in about 1 minute and 30 seconds there in the fourth quarter. Right as I was celebrating the Sixers being up by 16, the Magic went on a 10-0 run in 1 minute and 30 seconds. But we held on, and we took care of business. there's some things I want to talk about, man. The lineups I want to talk about. I want to talk about no Jared McCain in the fourth quarter. I want to talk about the Paul George effect. And then you can call me on the Discord. I want to know if you believe that the 76ers can do what they did tonight consistently and turn this season around. I want to know. Call me on the Discord. Link is pinned at the top of the chat. The Paul George effect is real, and I want to just say shout out to Podcast P. I know I have talked my trash. I have talked my trash up and down and left and right. Podcast P had his second good game in a row. Now, he didn't play the back-to-back because, he played for 37 minutes against the Hornets, so he needed 48 hours of rest. These $300 million NBA players, they couldn't possibly play another 30 minutes the next night. So he got his beauty sleep, came back and played another good game. And the Paul George effect is real. Everything that I say about Paul George is him not being on the floor, right? And him not really having the athleticism anymore that he used to have, but he's 34 years old. Is it a terrible contract? Yes. Is it going to screw us in 2 years? Probably. But when he's on the floor and his shot's falling, he's really, really, really good and really effective. Just because he just draws a double team, man. He's too good at getting to a shot in a one-on-one situation, and he draws a double team. He drew double teams all night tonight against the Orlando Magic. And an underrated aspect of Paul George's skill set is his facilitating ability, and we've seen games now where he's had multiple, 7, 8, 9, 10 assists. Let me go to the box score, see how many assists Paul George had. He had 9 assists in this game, 21 points, 9 assists. He started out the season, I thought he was passing the ball way too much. I thought he was reluctant to go to the rim when he started the season. He had a couple games of 8 assists, etc. This game, I saw him getting the assists, reading what the defense brings to him, drawing the double team, dropping it off to the roll man, or kicking it out to Jared McCain or Tyrese Maxey or whoever was out there, Yabusele, and just creation. This team, with before we knew how good Jared McCain was, Tyrese Maxey doesn't look like much of a shot creator this season. Tyrese Maxey looks like a scorer if he gets his shot back ever, but he doesn't look like much of an offense creator, and you saw tonight how valuable it is to have a player like Paul George just on the floor. He only shot 8 for 19. He was 2 for 7 from 3. But he had some big-time clutch buckets in the fourth. And just the gravity that he draws makes the defense move and then moves the ball and really just creates things. This offense looks so stagnant at times. And Paul George is such a solution to that if he can stay healthy. 21 points, 9 assists, 4 rebounds for Paul George. The Sixers are so much better if Paul George can stay healthy and play games. Now, I don't know if we're ever going to get MVP level Joel Embiid. I'm not even going to probably talk about Joel Embiid in this episode, but I'm just happy with what I saw from Paul George in this game, how much he affected the game, and the 76ers get a win over a pretty good Orlando Magic team, even without Paolo Banchero. That they did play without Jonathan Isaac tonight. That helps us. He kills us on the boards. He kills us defending the rim. So they didn't have Jonathan Isaac. And they missed 17 three-pointers in a row. I thought the Orlando Magic were about to go for the 2016 James Harden Houston Rockets NBA record of 27 missed threes in a row. They got up to 17 threes missed in a row. and then Jalen Suggs hit one. So I don't know if I don't know if maybe the Magic just had an ice cold shooting night. It is just one game, but they were chucking bricks in that third quarter, bro. I think they shot 0 for 13. The second quarter, I think they shot 0 for 13 from 3 in the second quarter. So no Jonathan Isaac, and they went ice cold. But I think we were playing a little bit. Actually, no, I'm going to say we were playing a lot better defense. We were playing a lot better perimeter defense than we've been playing throughout the season. The number one reason for that is another future of the 76ers, who after this game, I am never trading, Mr. Balloon Deal himself, KJ Martin. KJ Martin was absolutely damn unbelievable in this basketball game. KJ Martin, last year I said he's the best defender on the team. I was watching him stick guys on the perimeter last year, and I was like, this dude can't play a lick of basketball, but he is a phenomenal on-ball defender. And then, the lack of athleticism on this team and centers being injured and all of those things, you got to rely on KJ Martin's athleticism at the same time. That's why Nick Nurse is playing him at center in some of these lineups, because he's athletic and he's a smart defender. He was clamping dudes left and right. KJ Martin was putting the Orlando Magic players in Rikers Island in this damn game. I saw more than a couple times a bigger player decide, you know what, I'm going to take this guy. He's shorter than me. It's just KJ Martin. I feel like people don't know yet how good of a defender he is. He put Mo Wagner in clamps Mo Wagner on the perimeter one time with the shot clock running down, forced him to chuck an air ball and a shot clock violation. A play that I specifically remember was Wendell Carter Jr. getting the ball on the block, seeing KJ Martin, who's about 6 inches shorter than him, and saying to himself, oh, I'm going to go get busy. And KJ just stands him up at the free throw line. You can't move that dude, bro. That guy can guard 1 through 5. He really can. He is insanely strong when he gets his legs behind him and his chest out and a center tries to move him off the block. KJ Martin is a stone wall on the defensive side of the floor. And then you add in the offense that he's developing, the 3-point shot. I think he only shot 2 of them, and he's only shot 2 of them in this game. He hit a 3 from the corner in the first quarter. If he can become a reliable 3-point shooter and keep up the defense that he's playing, this is an insanely valuable player to have. He had 20 points in this game. 20 points off the bench for KJ Martin. Shout out to Mr. Balloon Deal, man. And the last thing I want to say about KJ, man, is that, last year I was ranting and raving in the beginning of the season about how bad he was right when he got here from the Clippers trade. And I think KJ Martin is learning how to play within his own skill set in the game. He's not a good ball handler. He should never be really dribbling the basketball. I can't figure out if he's right-handed or left-handed. He's better at finishing with his left hand, but he shoots the ball right-handed, a little Ben Simmons-esque, but at least he shoots it and makes it. But I think he's figuring out how to play the game within his skill set. Do what you're really good at and do that as good as you can. And don't do too much. Don't try to do anything that you can't do. And he's just morphing into a really, really good role player. And as bad as the 76ers defense has been this year, that dude's the best defender on the entire team by a long shot. And I'm not exaggerating. And it's pretty wild that he's been DNPs in some games this season. Now, the lineups and the who's healthy and who's not has gone in and out throughout the season. So Nick Nurse has been throwing shit at a wall, experimenting. I've hated a lot of his decisions throughout the season so far. But I hope I think he is definitely, because he likes KJ Martin a lot. And, there's the narrative that I always am on board with, that Nick Nurse hates young players or doesn't trust young players. It seems like he definitely trusts KJ Martin, and I just love that aspect of this team when he's playing like that. That is an insanely valuable role player if he can give you 20 off the bench. I mean, he was 9 for 10. I'm not going to say that KJ Martin's always going to be 9 for 10, but the athleticism, the defense, and just playing within yourself on the offensive side of the ball and not trying to do too much. It helps to have Paul George on the floor. I mean, it all goes back to Paul George. Paul George is such an offensive creator that Kelly Oubre, KJ Martin, these guys don't have to do those type of things. And that's what I was saying a lot in the beginning of the season when they started out, just couldn't do anything. You had guys like Caleb Martin, KJ Martin, Kelly Oubre, trying to create shots, and really because you were without Paul George, Joel Embiid, even 7 games without Tyrese Maxey, and McCain wasn't getting the minutes yet. And we were all kind of saying when these role players get to go back to what they're supposed to be doing, they're all going to look a little bit better. And I think we saw a glimpse of that tonight with KJ Martin. Gershon Yabusele had some important parts of this game, man. The hustle is always there. 16 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists from Gershon Yabusele, 1 for 3 from the 3-point line. Some massive free throws down the stretch. He's a good 3-point shooter. He's not really good free throw shooter. He had 6 free throws in the fourth quarter. Missed 2 in a row at one point when I feel like the Magic were starting to cut the lead. So that was a little bit sketchy. And then he got to the free throw line with not a lot of time left when we inbounded it. And, he was dribbling the ball, trying to get it to a guard. And I was pulling my hair out because Yabusele's not the guy you want dribbling the ball, and the clock's running down, and the Magic are trapping and frantically playing this, trap defense, trying to force a turnover. And he held onto the ball. He didn't turn it over. He went to the free throw line, and he knocked down both free throws. The last thing I want to say is, I know people are talking about Jared McCain not getting in the game at the end of the fourth quarter, and I'm actually on board with Nick Nurse on this one for this game specifically. Jared McCain had a couple of bad turnovers in the first quarter of this game. I thought Nick Nurse was going to bench him forever. Nick Nurse put Kyle Lowry in the game in the beginning of the fourth quarter alongside Paul George, and that Lowry-Paul George lineup was successful in the first half. So I know why I went with it again. And Jared McCain had some great points in this game. I don't want to take anything away from him. He only had 7 points, because he really, after those couple of bad turnovers in the first, he really didn't get a lot of minutes the rest of the game. Nick Nurse trusts Kyle Lowry. He does. It all goes back to Paul George again. Tyrese Maxey is going to get his shots up. When you have another offensive creator, it's just one less thing that everyone else has to do. So even when Kyle Lowry is out there, and I'm the biggest Kyle Lowry needs to retire advocate there is, he doesn't have to try to create anything because you have Maxey and Paul George there. Now, the lineup with Lowry and Paul George in the beginning of the fourth quarter is the lineup that gave up the 10-0 run in a minute 30 seconds. But that was really more of a Orlando Magic just getting hot from 3. Jalen Suggs had 6 of those points in about 5 seconds. And we had a couple of turnovers and a couple missed layups at the rim and things like that. I don't really think Kyle Lowry had anything to do with that run. It would have been nice maybe to have a bigger body out there, because then he brings Maxey back in and leaves Lowry still out there, and then he's about to run this 3-guard lineup again. And then Lowry goes to the bench, and Maxey, Paul George. The final lineup was Maxey, Paul George, Yabusele, KJ Martin, and Kelly Oubre. And the way this game was going, and with Paul George playing the way that he was playing, I love that lineup because, McCain had some turnovers in the first half, and he was getting cooked defensively by the sheer size of the Orlando Magic. Wagner was calling him out. Jalen Suggs was calling him out in ISO situations. And, I understand that you wanted, with the shot creation of Paul George and the offensive power of Maxey and George, you wanted more defense out there. You didn't need another shot creating scorer. You needed defense and rebounding. So KJ Martin, Kelly Oubre, Yabusele was the finishing lineup there. And I don't hate that. I love Jared McCain. I think he needs the opportunities when he's having a good game. I don't think Kyle Lowry does anything that Jared McCain can't do. But you did see some bad turnovers in the first half. And you saw a couple bad turnovers last game too. So, let the rookie get that out of his system. But I do understand why Nick Nurse didn't go with Jared McCain towards the fourth quarter there, because you have the offensive firepower of Paul George and Maxey, and you wanted defense and rebounding. So I understand that. What else can I say about this game, man? 371 in here. Please hit the like button, man. Andre Drummond in the first half was god awful. He was getting, absolutely smoked on the glass, on the offensive, like Wagner just hitting him with simple drop step layups, and I'm screaming, how the hell did Andre Drummond become this washed? And then it wasn't as bad defensively in the second half. So, maybe communication things or just flat out hustle or whatever it is. Drummond can be better than he's been this season so far. Maybe you get Joel Embiid back like you were supposed to have in the first place, and you don't have to rely on Andre Drummond. He can just be a 10-minute per game backup center. But here we are. Andre Drummond has to play 27 minutes, and Andre Drummond's not a 27-minute guy. So it's never going to look great when Andre Drummond's out there as a center playing for 27 minutes. He's been a backup center now for like 4 years. And, he's 7 points. He had 11 rebounds. So it is what it is. Your center position is absolutely screwed, and they found a way to make it work in this game, I guess I'll say. You know what I mean? They didn't bring in the G Leaguer, Pete Lance. Adem Bona has a knee contusion. Not that Nick Nurse was going to play him anyway. I guess the last thing that I'm going to talk about is, Kelly Oubre did what Kelly Oubre does. I think Kelly Oubre was a lot more inside his own game in this game. Played within his own skill set, just like KJ Martin did. A lot more in this game. He didn't have too many situations where I was seeing like Paul George and Maxey on the floor and Kelly's out here, running the offense. A couple of pick and rolls, and he got in the lane and hit some floaters and things like that. Not too many like it's my turn moments from Kelly Oubre, and the great Kelly Oubre hustle that he gives you all the time. 10 rebounds from Kelly Oubre. This team is so bad at rebounding, so to get 11 rebounds from Drummond and 10 from Kelly Oubre is massive. Caleb Martin went out of the game with a sprained ankle, I think, in the first half. Tried to come back in and then went back to the locker room again. He still can't shoot. They're still guarding him like Ben Simmons. So, I don't understand it. You're hurt. Why are you out there anyway? So honestly, one of the best things that happened in this game was Caleb Martin spraining his ankle. Because Nick Nurse likes to, let him play through this shoulder issue that he's having or whatever, and he can't hit a three. She won't even shoot it. They're going under screens and guarding him 10 feet away. Caleb Martin leaves the game with an ankle injury, and I don't want to celebrate that, but he needs to figure out what the hell's going on with his shoulder and his shot before he comes back in the game. McCain and Maxey did have a couple of chemistry situations that I really loved, and I think they can build off of. Again, McCain was a little bit off in this game. He was 3 for 8. He was 1 for 4 from the three-point line. He had a big-time three off of a Paul George assist, I believe. But him and Maxey working together in I think, the third quarter when the Sixers made the run and got the lead up to 16. I like that a lot. I love McCain at the point guard and Maxey at the shooting guard. I think McCain just needs to clean up those turnover issues that he had in the first quarter, and Nick Nurse will start to trust him a little more. But they didn't need his offensive services as much as they needed defense and rebounding in the fourth quarter. So I liked everything in this game. I really did, man. I liked it. I like most things, and I like what Nick Nurse did down the stretch. And turns out when you have guys playing well, everything looks better on everyone, including the coach, right? Tyrese Maxey, I guess, is what we need to talk about, right? Tyrese Maxey had 16 points. He was 5 for 17 from 3. He was 1 for 7. I mean, he was 5 for 17 from the field. He was 1 for 7 from 3. And listen, and I see you guys in the Discord, man. I can't wait to take your calls. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. The last Maxey was 1 for 7 from 3 in this game. Okay. Wednesday, Tyrese Maxey was 0 for 7 from 3. That's 1 for 14 in his last 2 games. Tuesday against the Hornets, Maxey was 1 for 7 from 3. That's 2 for 21 in his last 3 games. 2 for 21. Should we go back to the game before that? I think he had a solid outing against the Pistons. He was 5 for 10 from 3 against the Pistons. So 2 for 21, or you can take the 5 to add the 5 to 10, and you can say 7 for 31 in his last 4 games from 3-point range. So I don't know what's going on with Maxey, man. It's he's not shooting the ball well this season. And Tyrese Maxey, a lot of people say that, he's changing something, or he's doing something different, or he's rushing things, or there's definitely times where he's taking ill-advised shots and just making bad decisions. There was a play where him and Paul George were at the top of the key, and Paul George pump fakes, passes it to Maxey. He pump fakes, passes it back. He passes it back. I'm like, are one of you guys going to shoot the damn ball? And then Maxey ends up taking like a triple step back from 30 feet. It barely hit the front of the rim. I'm like, why is that the shot you ended up taking? You know what I mean? There's a lot of... His shot selection has been bad this season, man. And the 3-point shot is just flat out not falling right now. But I still believe he'll get it back together. Tyrese Maxey runs off of whether his shot is falling or not. He always has. When his shot's falling, he gets so much confidence and he becomes completely unstoppable. You watched it against the New York Knicks in the playoffs, in crunch time, in the biggest moments he could possibly be in. He was lighting them up, and that was at the time the best defense in the NBA. So don't go off the deep end with Tyrese Maxey right now, man. Don't go, oh, he's cooked. Oh, we paid him and he's not good anymore. All that stuff is nonsense. You know it is. He's 24 years old. And he had a 47-point playoff performance with a half-court buzzer beater to send it to overtime. The kid, he has it in him. He's struggling right now. But I'm happy that the Sixers are getting guys like Paul George back on the floor and getting contributions from everyone else to where Tyrese Maxey can have bad games and you can still beat a team. Any team. They couldn't beat, beginning of the season, they couldn't beat anybody. So the way I think we should look at it is, how much better would they have been in this game if Tyrese Maxey was 4 for 7 from 3 and 12 for 17 from the field instead of 5 for 17, You should look at it as a good thing. Tyrese Maxey's still shooting the ball poorly, and we still get a win because of the contributions from everybody else and the way that Paul George just makes the defense move and creates things and is facilitating the ball. So if Tyrese Maxey gets that shot to start falling again, then you have 2 lethal weapons on the offensive side, Tyrese Maxey and Paul George, and Jared McCain off the bench. KJ Martin, Kelly Oubre, Yabusele. The center situation is still not good at all. But this tonight didn't look... It looked way better than they looked all season. Even in some of their other victories, I feel like this is the best the 76ers have looked all season because of the contributions from everyone else, holding the Magic to 94 points, rebounding the ball well, and KJ Martin being a damn stud off the bench. So am I crazy? Answer me in the chat right now. Am I crazy? Am I losing my mind? Or am I starting to believe that the Philadelphia 76ers can build off of this? Maxey can get his shot back, and they can actually start to turn the season around. Oh, it hurts. Oh, I got a chest pain. Oh my God. But this is what I thought the team was going to look like when they started this season. Remember the videos I was putting out, dude? I was like, even without Embiid, this team can be really good. And then they lost Paul George, and I was like, all right, well, I mean, Maxey out there by himself chucking 35 shots, that's not going to win you games. But if Paul George can just stay on the floor, even when he's not shooting great, he adds so much dynamics to the offense. It's so much better with him on the floor. Just less podcasting, more playing basketball, Paul George, okay? And if Tyrese Maxey can get his shot back, the Sixers might be able to start winning games consistently. This is what I do, guys. I'm an absolute psychopath. I hate this team with all of my heart. And then they win one game convincingly. Not even convincingly. They blew a damn 16-point lead. And I'm sitting here saying I'm starting to believe. I got serious issues, man, and I need clinical help. Hey, we got Bryce in the Discord. We got Shane in the Discord. We got it just says F in the Discord. I'm gonna get to all your guys' calls, man. Thanks for being here. Anybody else wants to get on the list and call the show? Link is pinned at the top of the chat. Let me tell you about the wonderful sponsors that make this possible before we get to the Discord callers. Game Time Ticket App. Game Time is the best damn ticket app on the planet. And, it's great because they do the work for you. You don't have to sort through Facebook Marketplace and all these bullshit resellers to try to find a good ticket. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks. And I don't know if they want me to say the word bullshit in the ad, but we'll see. They'll let me know in the email or something. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And the Sixers tickets are going for about $3 right now. So, I don't know if you get $20 off, if you get $20 of credit on the website. I'll have to ask them that. This is also brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, official sports partner of the NBA. The NBA in-season tournament is here. The courts are still ugly, but your parlays don't have to be. Get in on the NBA in-season tournament action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. First time, here's something special just for you. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. And I want to tell you from personal experience, I've been loving using the DraftKings app. And I haven't been a sports bettor for years. And the $200 in bonus that they gave me turned me back into a sports bettor. And it's so much fun to just throw $5 on a parlay and, see if you can hit same game parlays, all these things that you can do on there. It's a lot of fun. And it really keeps me up on the rest of the NBA also because I'm watching. I'm like, I need 7 rebounds from Karl Anthony Towns. I need this. I need that. It helps my knowledge personally, and it gives me a reason to watch certain games. I'll watch a game at 11 o'clock at night that I normally wouldn't watch because I'll be like, I need this one to hit. So DraftKings got me back into sports betting, man. And if you're not into sports betting, take advantage of the $200 in bonus bets. When you bet just $5 by using promo code RUNITBACK. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Seriously, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Let's get to the Discord, man. Who's in here? Bryce, F, Top Shotta, and Yer. Hey, we're going to hear from our boy Shane, man. I haven't heard from Shane in a minute, yo. Shane, you hanging out in here, man? Hold on. Let me unmute you, Shane. Hold on, Shane. Yo, Shane in the Discord.
Yo, DJ, how you doing?
Shane, what's going on?
Yeah, I watched the game, man. This game was so much better without Embiid.
So much better without Embiid?
Man, I had so much fun. When I was watching him earlier in the year with Embiid, he looked pissing me off of how bad he looked, man. I want to trade Embiid again just because of how good we look without him, how good the players are looking. I mean, look at the young guys without the ball in Embiid's hands almost the whole game. You see how much better our young guys look.
I understand what you're saying, Shane. And Embiid has not looked good this season. The Sixers are 0-4 when Embiid plays this season. They haven't even won a game with Embiid on the floor. I get what you're saying, but number one, Shane, you probably can't trade Joel Embiid. A guy with cooked knees who can't even get on the floor is on a max extension. If you were another franchise, what would you give up for a 30-year-old 7-footer who can't seem to get on the floor?
Paper clips and I don't know, maybe rough whipped up paper. Like he ain't gonna get much for him, but that's why I'm saying I'm hoping he retires after this year, just because.
But you need to win a championship. To have the chance to win a championship this year, you would need Joel Embiid to get back to MVP level.
I don't know what happened to him. I think it's because he's out of shape. I think it's because every year he doesn't ramp up in the offseason, and I think he wasn't the Olympics. He played injured. I don't think that it helped. I think he just got worse.
So you think he's just out of shape? You don't think he's hurt right now? You think he's just out of shape?
I think it's a combination of both. I think that they do what they typically do with Joel. Oh, he has a knee injury. Oh, he can't play. It's excuses. It's always some type of excuse for him, and I'm over it.
I feel you, Shane. I'm over it too, man. But this team's they're not winning a championship if Embiid doesn't get back. And if he's not getting back, then they need to, accept their fate and look forward to next year. But you can't trade him anyway. But I definitely understand your frustration, Shane. I've been frustrated too, man.
And like my other frustration comes, it's like, why? Like I like Kyle Lowry, but it's like the guy hasn't been playing well. I mean, and it's like, well, you got Jared, and as much as. Trust me, that's what I get frustrated with McCain's TikTok and painting us. He's been falling. He's scored I forget exactly.
Why do you get frustrated with his TikTok, Shane? Aren't you TikTok age? Aren't you Gen Z? How old are you, Shane?
I'm about to be 17 in January.
Come on, bro. Your whole crew is on TikTok, aren't they?
Not all of them.
I feel you.
No.
I'm over the TikTok and stuff because he's unbelievable at basketball. I don't care what he does, dude. If he wants to wear a dress, paint his fingernails, dance down the street, I don't give a damn. If you're a dog on the court, dude, he's a dog on the court, bro. The way he was hitting threes last game against the Magic and talking shit to their bench and stuff, that's fine with me, buddy.
I don't really care because I heard that, I forget, I didn't watch him, and my friend would be like, Shane, did you see that? McCain scored 17. I'm like, yeah, I saw that. I saw the stat line. He scored 17. He scored 20. Because when I'm saying this, I'm like, this guy can ball.
He can ball, man.
So good about him coming out of Duke, because this guy, from what I've seen a little bit of his clips and everything, the guy cannot just get in the paint and score. He can catch and shoot, and that is something the Sixers been needing since I can't even remember, since the JJ Redick days, where a guy can just catch it, shoot it, and make it. That's something they've been missing for a long time.
Hell yeah, Shane. Shane's on the money, dude. Shane's always on the money. Anyone in the chat or the stream that hasn't heard Shane before, Shane's the most knowledgeable 17-year-old Sixers fan I've ever heard. And I think you were calling the show when you were 14.
I was 13. Remember, I blew up because
go, Shane.
I remember that, man. Ben Simmons. I remember I blew up because I roasted Ben Simmons.
Shane was roasting Ben Simmons when he was 13 years old, man. Yo, Shane, great to hear from you, brother. I'm going to get to some other callers, man. Great to hear from you, man. Hope everything's good, Shane.
See ya. We play Kings on my birthday.
All right, buddy. Hope everything's great, Shane. Take it easy, man. Shout out to Shane, man. I used to talk about the fact that he's 13 years old. Now he's 17 years old. That's how fast time is flying. Shout out to Shane, man. What a kid, man. What a kid. He wants to trade Embiid. I don't think you can trade Embiid, man. I don't think you can trade Embiid. Bryce is in the Discord. Hey, yo, hey. Bryce.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. What's going on?
Hey, having a drink to celebrate a rare Sixers win.
Cheers.
Cheers, bro. I'm glad we got the win, but I don't know if I'm feeling as confident as you are about the team right now. I got to say, I do like to see Paul George being, more like what, we got him for. He can score on a bunch of different levels. He's playing pretty good defense, even though he's a little older. But I gotta say, man, I'm really disappointed in Maxey this season.
Yeah, I am too, man. I'm holding out hope that he gets it back together. You know, he had a good game couple of games ago. He was 5 for 10 from 3 in that game that I just looked at against the Pistons, I think. But that was the Pistons without a bunch of guys and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his last good one. He was 11 for 24 and 5 for 10 from 3. He had 28 points in that game. That was a good Tyrese Maxey game. He was plus 26 from, you know, and just plus minus. But the last 3 games, he's been bad. Like, he can't hit the broadside of a barn. And the whole beginning of the season, you know, those games where he was chucking up 30 plus shot attempts. And yeah, I think he's a rhythm guy, man. He's really a rhythm guy. When the shots fall and he really gets a lot of confidence and gets into his bag. And like the beginning of the season, man, he was trying too hard because Paul George and Joel Embiid weren't there. And then he got the hamstring. Then he came back. I know some people say you always make excuses for Tyrese Maxey. I fucking love the kid, dude. I'm the most biased Tyrese Maxey fan there probably is. I started playing basketball because of Allen Iverson. He just gives me those type of vibes. I know he's not on that game-changing level that Allen Iverson is or was at that age, but he can be. I see it in him, man. I'm holding out hope for Tyrese Maxey. I think he's turning it around.
I do too, man. I mean, I don't get me wrong. I have 2 Tyrese Maxey jerseys. I love the guy. And I just I don't know what's going on with this, especially his 3-point shot. Like, you know, he had an 0 for 7 game the other day, or like 1 for 7 the game before that, or something like that. And
he's 2 for 21. The last 3 games, he's 2 for 21.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's going on? He would like watching Tyrese Maxey, especially the past 2 or 3 seasons. Like, he's been just such a sniper, and it's like, what's going on? I mean, I know
you
he
know what
bulked
it is,
up,
right?
and
Joel Embiid and James Harden, and you know. I mean, Paul George is a gravity player too, and he should be able to feed off of Paul George and get some. But I don't want to call people call him a Joel Embiid merchant, you know. But I mean, dude, playing off the gravity of Joel Embiid definitely helps a lot when you're that young to get a bunch of wide open shots all the time. So,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can definitely tell that he misses playing next to him. I do think at this point, he's still way better as an off-ball player rather than the main ball handler and
right.
you know, distributor. I'm a little disappointed that he hasn't really explored expanded his playmaking ability or his court vision as much as I wanted him to. You know,
yeah,
he still kind of gets tunnel vision when he just barrels to the rim, and most of the time, you know. Oh, again, he usually makes those really tough shots at the rim somehow, but. He gets stuffed, and then it's just I don't know, he just isn't able to self-create as much as I kind of hoped for.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. This season he's looking more like rookie Tyrese Maxey, where he looks very one-dimensional. You know, he looks very either he flies all the way to the rim against 3 guys, or he shoots a contested step back 3. He hasn't looked comfortable. And I just think he needs to calm down. His shot doesn't look confident. It kind of looks like when he shoots it, he almost doesn't expect to make it. You know, he doesn't look confident in the shot right now. And but he's a smart kid and he's always working. And I think he's definitely gonna get back to it, man. He's gonna be the first one to be like, I gotta fix this shit. You know, he's gonna be in the gym with coaches, with whoever. Whatever he feels like he needs to fix it. You know, remember when Ben Simmons wouldn't see a shooting psychologist or whatever? Tyrese Maxey, if this keeps up, he'll be the first one there. You know what I mean? He'll try everything to fix it, and I think he will.
I do too. I mean, yeah, he's definitely probably the hardest worker on the team, so I have faith in him for that. And I'm glad that, you know, we have another young guard and Jared McCain playing next to a guy like that, like Maxey, that can really I mean, I've been super impressed with Jared McCain. He seems like he's super disciplined and really hardworking, but it's definitely good for a guy that as good as him already to be playing with a guy with the attitude of Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, definitely, man. And McCain, you know, it sucks that we have to try to put him ahead of where he should be at 20 years old. You know what I mean? But if you really think about if McCain can be as consistent as he was over those that 5-6 game stretch, and you have Paul George and Tyrese Maxey, Those are three. I mean, McCain was an elite offensive player, and just last game he was too. So he's so young. If he can consistently give you games like that, you got three guys, but at the same time, I don't trust Nurse probably to play him the minutes that I think he should. So there's that too. But really, like Paul George, Maxey, and McCain should be really hard to stop offensively.
Yeah, I mean, the shooting ability of all three of them. When Maxey is getting his three ball, but like they are all a threat to shoot from three in the mid range, and McCain can really get to the rim. Like it's kind of crazy for a small guard. Like he's super strong and really crafty at the rim.
I love everything he does, man. I love everything he does. It's incredible. I talk shit on the draft pick. I didn't know anything about him. I admitted it a million times. I love everything he does, dude. He plays the game physical. He hits shots and is talking shit to the other team's bench. Like he does everything I love, dude. It's insane. Yeah. Like he plays the game slow, methodical, patient, gets to a mid-range, beats people to the rim, has the three-point shot, the confidence, the facilitating ability, and then like just the knockdown, and then like talking trash. I'm like, this guy's painting his nails, dancing on TikTok, dropping 30 on you, and talking shit. There's nothing you can do about it. Imagine a dude making videos like that and then dropping 30 on you in the NBA, and you're just sitting there I can't stop this kid, man. I'm a huge Jared McCain fan, dude. Huge.
For sure, dude. His jumper is so like aesthetically pleasing too. It's crazy how clean it is, and like his shot is just so composed, especially for a rookie.
Dude, super fundamental. Like the most fundamental player I may have ever seen.
Yeah, man, he's awesome.
All right, Bryce,
hopefully
man.
He can play a bigger role.
Thanks for calling the show, bro. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Have a good one.
Call back anytime, man. After every Sixers game, I'm right here, buddy.
For sure, dude.
Shout out to Bryce in the Discord. Amazing caller. 10 out of 10. Thank you, Bryce, for calling the show. And yeah, man, like I think Maxey's gonna get it back. I have faith. Maxey's gonna get it back, man. Hey, Fredo, is your name Fredo?
Yeah, you can just say Fredo. What's up, DJ?
What's up, Fredo? Where you from, man?
I'm from Delaware.
Shout out to Delaware, man. Delco.
Oh,
they call it that or not?
Nah, I just call it Delaware.
You don't want to be associated with the Delco. Okay, I get it. Anyway,
Delco's not too far, but
all right.
I'm gonna start off with the negatives first. Caleb Martin still sucks. I don't know what's going on with him. Maxey, I know he's going to get out of the slump, but it's annoying to see him shoot this bad. Even when he has good looks, but I believe he'll get it the fall sooner or later, and when it does happen, we'll be in way better shape.
Yeah,
I think those might have been the only two negatives I've had for this game. Oh, and I can't really say anything about McCain's turnovers problems because he has the big word right next to his name, rookie.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's going to make mistakes. He's going to fix them.
Yeah, and like I remember a lot of them off the top of my head, man. Like some of them were him trying to dump the ball down underneath to somebody, which is just him being too passive and trying to be like, oh, I should pass the ball. Now you could tell they're like forcing passes in the paint and things like that when he should just be shooting the ball. And the ones tonight where like he'd bring the ball down and try to go behind his back and somebody was behind him like plucking it. And one time he put his hands up like, why didn't you guys tell me he was there? I remember watching him do that. So like, yeah, it's just little things, man. He'll definitely figure that out.
Other than that, I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself, but I would like to say PG is ramped up. I think he's ramped up.
Is Paul George ramped up, man? Oh my God. Well,
he had 9 assists.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, I'm seriously impressed by his facilitating ability. And the beginning of the season, like I said, I think he was trying to do it a little bit too much. Where I'm like, damn, take the ball to the rim, dude. What are you doing? You know. But his unselfishness is nice, man. You know what I mean? It really is. And he draws such a defensive gravity because he's so damn good at getting to where he wants to get to and beating a guy off the dribble. He's just. It would be nice to have him, 5 years ago. But dude, he is one of the most skilled, like 6'9", 6'10" guys I've seen, dude. He gets to wherever he wants on the floor and he draws the defense. And I think even when his shot's not falling, because he's going to be a make or miss guy. Even when his shot's not falling, he can affect the game greatly just by drawing the defense and moving the ball around. So just having him there is amazing, honestly.
He did a really good job of playmaking. It seems like he's starting to take it to the rim a lot more aggressive than he did at the start of the season, which is really good to see.
Yep.
KJ Martin I think he's starting to finally find his role with the Sixers, and he's starting to play it well. He only missed one shot. He had 20 points tonight. I've enjoyed watching KJ Martin a lot this year. I pray to God Daryl Morey doesn't use him as a trade piece, thinking we could get someone that's going to fit in right away and be better than him.
Yeah, that's the thing, dude.
Like KJ.
Dude, that's a great point, man. Because the balloon deal, they overpaid him on purpose to have a matching salary because he wasn't good last year. He wasn't this effective last year. There was times where his defense,
not at all.
There was times where he defensively stood out and Nurse was using him. But he didn't look damn near as effective as he does this season, man.
He's playing really well on defense. Shots starting to fall a little bit. He's still not a shooter, but he's not afraid to shoot it like someone else that we know way too well that isn't a Sixer anymore.
Bro, do you know how many years I sat here and heard people tell me, but he's great defender. He's a great defender. And I was always like, that doesn't matter if you can't play basketball. Like, I need you to be able to do something on the offensive side of the floor, not just Ben Simmons, but Matisse Thybulle too. I'm like, it's 4-on-5 on the other side. If somebody can be a great defender and at least catch and shoot, that's perfect. You know what I mean? Yeah. You got anything else for me, man?
Oh yeah, I do have one worry.
What's that?
Whenever his knee's good enough for him to play basketball this year, if it'll even happen, but whenever it happens, I don't want the Sixers to feel like they have to play at his pace. Everybody else has to play at their own pace and let him.
Bro, that's a great point.
It's kind of like how the Sixers played with Moses Malone when he got into his later years. Everybody run the floor, let him get up the floor when he gets up. When you have to give him the ball, give him the ball, but we can't play at his pace because he plays slow.
It's a good point, and it's a tough thing to do, man. That's what as soon as Joel Embiid's active, that's what you see. Like, he's like the nucleus of the whole team, and even in the Olympics, they played him against Jokic, and he dominated Jokic and was one of the main reasons they won that game against Serbia. And then the next game against France, he was totally unplayable because they were playing such a fast-paced game, and they just couldn't put him on the floor. And that's how Joe. It's. I don't think he's that player, so it's really hard to imagine a team figuring out a way to share the ball and everybody play within an offense and have Joel Embiid on the floor because his whole life, probably playing basketball at least, he's been the guy that you dump the ball down to and everything revolves around him. You know what I mean? So I feel like he's been trying to be better at kind of fitting into an offense more than being when James Harden was here, I felt like he tried to do a little bit more. And what were we gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say when that does happen, when they dump the ball off to him, this is when Nick Nurse has to be a coach. He has to run actions to get Jared McCain, Tyrese Maxey, PG. Everybody's got to be, when he gets the ball, everybody has to move because they're going to send a double or triple.
Yeah.
And if everybody's running around, then it's like, okay, we can't really double him because this guy's moving off an off-ball screen. This guy's cutting baseline. This guy's sitting there ready to spot up the shoot. And then it creates confusion on the defensive end for the other team.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I would like to think that Nick Nurse is, he has the same exact stubborn tendencies that Doc Rivers has, and I call him Doc Rivers 2.0 all the time and stuff. But I would like to think that he's a little bit more creative than Doc Rivers, and I do know that he's more willing to get on players and tell them, hey, you're not doing this right, you're not doing that right. I need a little more effort from you, all that type of stuff. So I would like to think he's a little more creative, and maybe he can work Joel into it. They think he's gonna play Sunday. I don't know, dude. I don't know. But
play Sunday.
If they eventually get Joel back, it is the Bulls, Chicago Bulls at 1:00, which is random as hell. It's NFL season. 1 o'clock? What are we doing here?
1 o'clock is when football starts. That's terrible timing.
That's a horrible time. The tickets are already $3. There's going to be nobody in the stadium. There's going to be nobody in the arena, man. Yo, Fredo, thank you for the call, man. This was a lot of fun, buddy. Call back anytime, man.
Appreciate it.
Fredo in the Discord. Hey, shout out to the Discord callers tonight, man. You guys were awesome. My man Shane and a couple others, man. Thank you for calling. Thank you for contributing to the show. It's so much fun to have the conversation. And you guys help me out, honestly, because I just ramble and I get tired of hearing myself, man. And I like to hear other perspectives. Yeah, that's all I got, man. Sixers win! And we'll see. We'll see if they can continue. And I can't wait to see all of the comments telling me that I am way too hype for this W. But I'm so damn happy. Not just to see the Sixers win because they won against the Charlotte Hornets, but I hated that game. I saw them win in a good way, and I liked most of the things that I saw happening. And I do feel like they can build off of that. That's all. I love you guys. 350 in here, man. Hit the like button one time. I'll talk to you very soon. Go Sixers! People that call me a Sixers hater, do you see what I mean, bro? I just want them to win. It's all I want. It's all I want.